Ever felt that invisible gaze lingering on you, assessing every move you make? You're not alone. In a world where envy lurks in the shadows, its presence can be felt, but not always seen. Welcome to a journey where we unravel the mystery of hidden jealousy and its profound impact on the dynamics of our lives. You're at a gathering, surrounded by friends or colleagues, and amidst the laughter and conversation, there's a subtle tension in the air. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's there, like a faint whisper in the wind. That, my friends, is the unmistakable presence of hidden jealousy. It's the green-eyed monster that rears its head when success shines a spotlight on someone else, leaving others feeling inadequate or resentful. But what exactly is hidden jealousy, and how does it manifest in our daily lives? It's more than just a fleeting pang of envy. It's the silent observer, silently comparing and contrasting, tallying up perceived slights and injustices. It's the friend who smiles to your face, but secretly hopes for your downfall, or the colleague who undermines your achievements behind closed doors. In this video, we'll delve into the murky depths of hidden jealousy, exploring its origins, its manifestations, and its far-reaching consequences. From strained friendships to toxic work environments, its impact can be profound, seeping into every facet of our personal and professional lives. So, buckle up as we navigate through the labyrinth of human emotions, shedding light on the darkness that lies beneath the surface. Get ready to uncover the truths about hidden jealousy and discover how we can rise above its shadowy grasp. Backhanded compliments are like sneaky little daggers disguised as praise. They're the kind words that cut deeper than criticism, leaving behind a sting that lingers long after the words have faded. But what exactly are backhanded compliments, and how do they sneak their way into our interactions? Let's break it down. A backhanded compliment is when someone says something that seems positive on the surface, but carries an underlying tone of criticism or insult. Take, for example, "You're so pretty for a plus-size girl," or "Wow, you're really smart for someone who didn't go to college." These statements may sound like compliments at first glance, but they're loaded with subtle jabs that diminish the recipient's worth. So, why do backhanded compliments pack such a punch? It all comes down to intent. While genuine compliments uplift and validate, backhanded ones chip away at confidence and undermine achievements. They plant seeds of doubt in our minds, making us question whether we truly deserve the recognition or if it's just a thinly veiled insult in disguise. Imagine receiving praise for your hard work on a project, only to have it followed by a backhanded remark like, "Not bad, considering your usual standard." Ouch. Suddenly, that sense of accomplishment is tainted by doubt, leaving you second-guessing your abilities and wondering if you're really as competent as you thought. Recognizing the intent behind compliments is crucial in navigating the murky waters of interpersonal dynamics. It's about looking beyond the words themselves and deciphering the underlying message they convey. Are they genuine words of encouragement, or are they veiled criticisms masquerading as praise? By learning to spot the subtle signs of backhanded compliments, we empower ourselves to reject their toxic influence and reclaim our sense of self-worth. Because at the end of the day, we deserve genuine praise that lifts us up, not thinly veiled insults that tear us down. Jealousy has a sneaky way of rearing its ugly head, and one of its favorite tactics is downplaying success. You're basking in the glow of your latest achievement, whether it's landing a big promotion, reaching a personal milestone, or simply mastering a new skill. But instead of basking in the glory with you, there's someone in the wings, ready to rain on your parade with a dismissive comment or a subtle eye roll. This is how jealousy manifests through the belittling of achievements. It's the friend who brushes off your accomplishments with a casual, "Oh, that's nice," or the colleague who undermines your hard work with a backhanded remark like, "Well, anyone could have done that if they tried." These seemingly innocuous comments chip away at our self-esteem and morale, leaving us feeling deflated and undeserving of our successes. The impact of this kind of jealousy on our psyche can be profound. It erodes our confidence, making us doubt our abilities and question whether we're truly worthy of recognition. It dampens our enthusiasm, robbing us of the joy that comes from celebrating our achievements. And worst of all, it can create a toxic cycle of comparison and self-doubt that keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity. But here's the thing: we have the power to break free from the grip of jealousy and reclaim our sense of self-worth. It starts with maintaining perspective and refusing to let the naysayers dim our light. Instead of internalizing their negativity, we can choose to focus on our own journey and celebrate our successes, no matter how small they may seem. Because here's the truth: every achievement, no matter how big or small, is worthy of celebration. Whether it's acing a test, landing a dream job, or simply getting out of bed in the morning, each success is a testament to our strength, resilience, and determination. So let's lift each other up, cheer each other on, and celebrate every victory, no matter how humble. Because in a world that's quick to tear us down, there's power in choosing to lift each other up. Imitation. It's often said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But what happens when imitation crosses the line from harmless admiration to jealousy-driven mimicry? It's a delicate dance between paying homage to someone we admire and allowing envy to dictate our actions. At its core, harmless imitation stems from genuine admiration. It's the friend who buys the same dress as you because they love your style, or the colleague who adopts your approach to problem solving because they respect your expertise. It's a way of acknowledging someone's influence on us and expressing our appreciation for their talents and qualities. However, jealousy-driven imitation comes from a different place entirely. It's rooted in insecurity and comparison, driven by a desire to compete rather than collaborate. It's the acquaintance who copies your ideas in an attempt to one-up you, or the rival who mimics your every move in a bid to steal your spotlight. Instead of celebrating your uniqueness, they see your success as a threat to their own worthiness. Recognizing the underlying insecurities behind jealousy-driven imitation is key to navigating this complex dynamic. It's about understanding that imitation is often a reflection of the imitator's own insecurities and shortcomings rather than a commentary on our own worth. By approaching imitation with empathy and compassion, we can avoid getting caught up in a cycle of resentment and rivalry. So how do we navigate imitation with discernment and compassion? It starts with setting boundaries and asserting our own identity. It's about recognizing that we are more than just the sum of our achievements or the clothes we wear, and refusing to let imitation diminish our sense of self-worth. It's also about extending grace to those who imitate us, understanding that their actions are driven by their own struggles and insecurities. Ultimately, imitation is a natural part of human interaction, but it's how we respond to it that defines its impact on our relationships. By approaching imitation with discernment and compassion, we can cultivate a culture of collaboration and mutual respect, where each individual is free to shine in their own unique way. Unnecessary competition. It's like a wildfire fueled by jealousy, consuming everything in its path and leaving behind a trail of destruction. When envy takes the wheel, it's easy to get caught up in a never-ending race to outdo one another, driven by a desperate need to prove our worth at any cost. Jealousy is the catalyst that ignites this competitive inferno, whispering lies of inadequacy and fueling our insecurities. It's the colleague who constantly undermines your achievements in a bid to climb the corporate ladder faster, or the friend who turns every conversation into a competition to see who's living the better life. Instead of celebrating each other's successes, we find ourselves locked in a bitter battle for validation, where winning becomes the only measure of worth. But here's the truth. Unnecessary competition only serves to hold us back from reaching our full potential. Instead of lifting each other up, it tears us down, fostering resentment and eroding trust in our relationships. It's a lose-lose scenario where nobody comes out on top, and the only thing we gain is a sense of emptiness and disillusionment. So how do we break free from the grip of unnecessary competition and reclaim our sense of purpose? It starts with shifting our focus from external validation to internal growth. Instead of measuring our worth against others, we can choose to focus on becoming the best versions of ourselves, celebrating our achievements and learning from our failures along the way. It's about recognizing that success is not a zero-sum game, and there's enough room at the table for everyone to thrive. Instead of viewing others as rivals to be conquered, we can see them as allies on a shared journey of self-discovery and growth. By supporting each other's dreams and celebrating each other's successes, we create a culture of collaboration and mutual respect, where everyone has the opportunity to shine. So let's break free from the chains of unnecessary competition and embrace a new paradigm of success, one where personal growth and fulfillment take precedence over empty victories, because in the end, it's not about winning the race, it's about finding joy and fulfillment in the journey itself. Schadenfreude. It's a word that rolls off the tongue with an unsettling ease, describing a phenomenon as old as human nature itself. At its core, Schadenfreude is the dark pleasure we derive from the misfortunes of others, a twisted delight in witnessing someone else's downfall. Examples of Schadenfreude abound in our everyday lives. It's the gossip who revels in spreading rumors about a rival's personal struggles, or the classmate who smirks when the teacher scolds someone for their mistakes. It's the social media user who delights in seeing a celebrity's public embarrassment, or the coworker who takes pleasure in seeing a colleague fail to meet their targets. But what drives this seemingly cruel impulse? At its root, Schadenfreude often stems from feelings of envy, insecurity, or resentment. It's a way of boosting our own self-esteem by tearing down others, a twisted attempt to level the playing field by bringing someone else down to our level. By reveling in their misfortunes, we momentarily forget our own insecurities and shortcomings, finding temporary relief in the discomfort of others. However, indulging in Schadenfreude comes at a cost. It corrodes our empathy and compassion, eroding the bonds of trust and understanding that hold our relationships together. It fosters a culture of negativity and resentment, where success is met with suspicion and failure is met with scorn. Ultimately, it leaves us feeling empty and hollow, devoid of the genuine connections and meaningful relationships that bring true fulfillment. So how do we combat the insidious allure of Schadenfreude and cultivate a more compassionate way of relating to others? It starts with recognizing the underlying motivations behind our feelings of envy and resentment. By acknowledging our own insecurities and working to address them in healthy ways, we can begin to break free from the cycle of negativity and cultivate a mindset of empathy and understanding. It's also about prioritizing our own emotional well-being and nurturing healthy relationships based on mutual respect and support. Instead of deriving pleasure from others' misfortunes, let's celebrate their successes and offer a hand of compassion when they stumble. By lifting each other up and embracing a spirit of kindness and empathy, we create a world where Schadenfreude has no place and genuine connection thrives. Ghosting during moments of success is like a sudden chill on a warm day, leaving us feeling bewildered and alone in our moment of triumph. It's the sudden withdrawal of support and enthusiasm from those we thought would be by our side, leaving us to celebrate our achievements in silence. But why do people ghost during moments of success? The motivations behind this behavior can vary, but they often stem from feelings of jealousy, insecurity, or resentment. It's the friend who feels overshadowed by our success and chooses to distance themselves rather than celebrate with us, or the colleague who feels threatened by our achievements and withdraws into their own shell of bitterness. For some, ghosting during moments of success may be a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness. It's easier to distance oneself from someone else's success than to confront our own insecurities and shortcomings. By withdrawing from the spotlight, they hope to shield themselves from the discomfort of comparison and self-doubt. But while ghosting during moments of success may offer temporary relief from feelings of jealousy or insecurity, it comes at a cost. It erodes the bonds of trust and camaraderie that hold our relationships together, leaving us feeling isolated and disconnected from those we care about most. It deprives us of the joy of sharing our triumphs with others, robbing us of the sense of validation and belonging that comes from celebrating together. Recognizing the importance of supportive relationships is crucial in navigating moments of success and failure alike. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up, celebrate our achievements, and stand by us through thick and thin. It's about being there for each other, not just in times of need, but in times of success and triumph as well. So let's cherish those who celebrate our successes with us, who stand by us through the highs and lows of life's journey, and let's strive to be the kind of friend or colleague who shows up not just when times are tough, but when moments of success come knocking at our door. Because in the end, it's the supportive relationships we cultivate that bring true meaning and fulfillment to our lives. Overcritical attitudes often stem from a place of jealousy, where the green-eyed monster rears its head and whispers poisonous lies of inadequacy and resentment. It's the friend who can't seem to find anything positive to say about our accomplishments, or the colleague who picks apart our work with a fine-tooth comb, never missing an opportunity to point out our flaws. When jealousy takes the wheel, hypercriticism becomes a weapon of choice, a way of tearing down others to elevate ourselves. It's easier to nitpick and find fault in others than to confront our own insecurities and shortcomings. By highlighting someone else's flaws, we hope to distract from our own, temporarily easing the discomfort of comparison and self-doubt. But the impact of overcritical attitudes extends far beyond the surface level. It chips away at our self-worth, leaving us feeling unworthy and undeserving of praise or recognition. It undermines our confidence, making us doubt our abilities and second-guess our decisions at every turn. It creates a toxic cycle of negativity and self-criticism that erodes our sense of self and leaves us feeling small and insignificant. So how do we break free from the grip of overcritical attitudes and reclaim our sense of worth? It starts with setting boundaries and surrounding ourselves with positivity. It's about recognizing when someone's criticism is more about their own insecurities than our actual performance and refusing to internalize their negativity. It's also about seeking out supportive relationships and environments that uplift and encourage us, rather than tearing us down by surrounding ourselves with positivity and setting boundaries with those who seek to bring us down. We create a protective shield against the toxic influence of overcritical attitudes. We learn to value ourselves not based on the opinions of others, but on our own inherent worth and potential. And we reclaim our power to define ourselves on our own terms, free from the shackles of jealousy and insecurity. Excessive inquiries, fueled by jealousy, can feel like an interrogation under a harsh spotlight, leaving us feeling exposed and vulnerable. It's the barrage of questions from a friend or partner, probing into every aspect of our lives, driven not by genuine concern, but by a desire to control and possess. When jealousy takes hold, intrusive questioning becomes a weapon of choice, a way of seeking reassurance or uncovering perceived threats to our sense of security. It's the partner who bombards us with questions about our whereabouts and interactions, or the friend who interrogates us about our successes and achievements, all under the guise of caring or curiosity. But make no mistake, excessive inquiries are often a form of manipulation, a means of exerting power and control over others. By probing into our personal lives and demanding answers to intrusive questions, the jealous individual seeks to undermine our autonomy and establish dominance in the relationship. They use our responses as ammunition to fuel their insecurities and justify their possessiveness, creating a toxic cycle of mistrust and manipulation. Recognizing manipulation is the first step in protecting our privacy and autonomy. It's about setting boundaries and refusing to engage in conversations that feel invasive or uncomfortable. It's also about asserting our right to privacy and autonomy, making it clear that our personal lives are not up for scrutiny or interrogation. Cultivating supportive environments is crucial in navigating relationships tainted by jealousy and manipulation. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who respect and value us for who we are, rather than seeking to control or possess us. It's also about fostering open and honest communication, where concerns and insecurities can be addressed in a healthy and constructive manner, rather than being used as weapons to manipulate or control. By recognizing manipulation, setting boundaries, and cultivating supportive environments, we reclaim our power to define the terms of our relationships and protect our privacy and autonomy. We create spaces where trust and respect can flourish, free from the toxic influence of jealousy and control, and we pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling connections built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. Jealousy, like a shadowy specter, has a way of isolating us from the people and experiences that bring us joy and fulfillment. It's a corrosive force that thrives on insecurity and comparison, driving us to distance ourselves from those who pose a threat to our sense of self-worth. Isolation tactics are the tools of the jealous, wielded with precision to alienate individuals from their support systems and sow seeds of doubt and insecurity. It's the partner who discourages us from spending time with friends and family, claiming they're a bad influence or don't understand our relationship. It's the friend who undermines our confidence and self-esteem, subtly suggesting that we're better off without the company of others. These tactics can take many forms, from subtle manipulation and guilt-tripping to outright coercion and control. They're designed to erode our sense of trust and connection with others, leaving us feeling isolated and alone in our struggles. By isolating us from our support systems, the jealous individual maintains a tighter grip on our emotions and behavior, making it easier to manipulate and control us. But the importance of identifying toxic influences and fostering supportive connections cannot be overstated. It's about recognizing when someone's actions are driven by jealousy or insecurity and refusing to internalize their negativity. It's also about surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and encourage us, rather than tear us down or seek to control us. By fostering supportive connections and setting boundaries with toxic influences, we create a protective shield against the isolating effects of jealousy. We cultivate environments where trust and respect can flourish, free from the toxic influence of manipulation and control. And we reclaim our power to define the terms of our relationships and live authentically, surrounded by those who value and respect us for who we are. As we come to the end of our exploration into the murky depths of jealousy, let's take a moment for self-reflection. Have you ever found yourself on either side of jealousy's grip? Perhaps you've experienced the sting of envy or the temptation to undermine others in moments of insecurity. Or maybe you've been the target of jealousy, feeling the weight of someone else's resentment bearing down on you. Whatever your experiences may be, know that you're not alone. Jealousy is a universal human emotion, one that we all grapple with in our own ways. But it's how we choose to respond to jealousy that defines its impact on our lives and relationships. In a world where jealousy can divide us and tear us apart, let's strive to foster supportive communities where empathy and understanding reign supreme. Let's empower each other to rise above the shadows of envy and insecurity, celebrating each other's successes and lifting each other up in times of need. Together, we can create a world where jealousy holds no power over us, where we're free to thrive and flourish in the light of mutual respect and support. So let's continue to share our experiences, to listen and learn from one another, and to empower each other to embrace our true worth and potential. For in the end, it's our connections with others that give meaning and richness to our lives. And it's through these connections that we find the strength and courage to overcome even the darkest of shadows